Hi, my name is Mac. Today I'll be talking about how to minimize unconscious bias during the recruitment process. No matter how much we might not want to admit it, unconscious biases influence a vast majority of our decisions. Simply put, unconscious biases are unintended people preferences. They are formed by our socializations, our experiences, and the representation of different groups in the media. These experiences act as social filters in which we make assessments and judgments about the people around us. So in order to keep up with all of the stimuli around us, we create mental shortcuts that use visual, verbal, and behavioral cues to categorize others, which ultimately makes our decision-making process much easier. Ask yourself, do you hold preconceived ideas about people of a certain age, gender, ethnicity, social background, sexual orientation, or education? It's normal to do so, but it's important to teach yourself to not make decisions based on these assumptions. In the hiring process, unconscious bias can hamper an organization's attempt at achieving diversity. Most commonly, unconscious bias happens when you form an opinion about candidates based solely on first impressions, or when you prefer one candidate over another simply because the first one seems like you'd easily hang out with them outside of work. Even in the earlier hiring stages, a candidate's name or educational background could influence your opinion more than you think. According to research from the University of Bristol, people submitting CVs with Muslim-sounding names are 3 times less likely to get a job interview. The same research also found that 76% of Muslim men are less likely to be employed than their white Christian counterparts. The biggest problem is that people often recruit in their own image. As humans, we like what we're familiar with. We often get on with people that share our experiences, background, hobbies, education, and so on and so forth. But in order to be an equal opportunities employer, like many companies claim to be, recruiters need to learn how to make the hiring process more fair. Here's how. Number 1, anonymise applications. Introduce a process to remove candidates' names, ages, genders, or any other identifying attributes from CVs or application forms. This will give candidates a fairer chance. Number 2, training for hiring managers. Ensure all staff involved in the recruitment process receive training about how to identify and manage their biases. It's important for this training to be updated on a regular basis and refreshed, particularly ahead of large recruitment drives. Number 3, external moderation. Invite external parties to independently review your recruitment activities to identify any potential areas for improvement. This will give an independent perspective which will remove confirmation bias. Number 4, data. Introduce systems and processes to clearly track diversity data and monitor how different demographics move through your recruitment and selection process. Sufficient levels of data throughout the process can give an insight into what stages of the process might be more susceptible to bias. Remember, data is harder to argue with than opinions. In summary, it's really important to be clear on the stages of the recruitment process that can be impacted by bias. It's important to work actively to identify those stages and mitigate them. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the Equal Group YouTube channel. To carry on this conversation or to discuss any equality, diversity and inclusion concerns, please feel free to email us at contact@theequalgroup.com.